What's going on, guys? Sinjin Halfthunk here with Team Absolute Awesome, and we've got Devin, who just top-8'd the CM Games case tournament. And Devin, what did you play?
Today I played Zombie Eldlich.
Zombie Eldlich. Let's see it, dog.
So, for the deck profile, we do one Doom King. Card is absolutely crazy. Zombie World active. It can negate any monster on the field or non-target banish. So it can be an out to Dragoon if you can.
So you decide to go with one?
I do one. I think two can be a little bit bricky, especially with the package I run. How I can just mill through everything and search.
Right.
We do the one Glow Bloom. So Glow Bloom is good with starting out with the Unazombies. So you run 3 Unazombies. So Unazombie can send one from deck to graveyard. And so if this hits the graveyard, I can banish it. And if Zombie World is active, I can or if Zombie World is active, I can special summon any level 5 or higher zombie monster, usually which would become the Beldrock. If not, if I need to grind out a couple games, there's other cards I can play. But so we do one Glow Up, one Beldrock. We do 3 Unazombies. Unazombies, absolutely hands down the best card.
Yeah, so Unazombie's pretty good.
So it just gets everything going. It's a Foolish Burial and a discard, so it's just a plus for this deck.
Yeah, super consistent too.
I do 2 Necro World Banshees. It's just terraforming and a field barrier for.
And it's a quick play too, yeah.
So it's a quick play from field or graveyard. A lot of people don't know that. They just think it's the graveyard. So sometimes I have to normal summon, and it just completely sideswipes them, and I come out with Zombie World with all this extra crazy stuff.
Right.
And it's a really good card. I run the 2 Zombie Worlds. I feel like 3 just is a little bricky in this because I can search it with the 2 Necros, and then I can also protect it with the Necro Banshees.
Right.
So I feel like 2 is just fine in the format. And then the one of the Foolish Burial. So Foolish Burial is not necessarily a zombie card, but you can argue me any day. I found out today that Foolish Burial is indeed a zombie card. And so that'll be it for the zombie set of the deck. That should be 10 cards right here. And then we'll do the Eldlich. So we do a 2 Eldlich, the Mad Golden Lord. Sometimes I debate whether or not I could do 3 or not, but I think of it this way: my opponent has 1 called by, so their choice is either going to be the Eldlich or the Doom King in graveyard, because Doom King just keeps recycling himself back with Zombie World, and same with Eldlich. So they have to make a decision. I keep 2 just in case they do get the Eldlich. I don't want to shut off all my traps and spells, so I run 2 in the 1 of Doom King. Today was the first day testing this out, and it actually played out very well in the tournament today, so it helped me out with a lot of the disruptions or monster problems.
So you enjoy this card a lot?
Yeah, it's so when I control Eldlich, I can just tribute any zombie monster in my field, including the Golden Land spells and traps, so it really helps that, and then I can negate, it's a spell or trap or monster effect negate, so it can just stop anything right there.
So kind of like a pseudo-themed judgment.
Yeah. I used it today a lot against Dragoon. I would bait his negate with Eldlich cards, and then when he would negate, I would use the Golden Land to negate his, or I would do the Beldrock to non-target banish, but I would either bait it with this to get his negate out, then Doom King, or vice versa. Either way, it's a negate, because it's a non-target negate. We do 3 Conquistadors of the Golden Land. This card is really good when you have Eldlich. It's a lot of disruption against your opponent. It's always a pop on the field whenever you control Eldlich, and these cards on the end phase just keep searching everything. It just keeps everything going forever. We do the 2 Hunquero, same about thing. It's a Conquistador, except it banishes 1 in the graveyard, which is really good in this format. I debate on going to 3, but right now I think 2 is the comfortable one for this. I feel like I do more off the Conquistador than the Hunquero.
Right.
Then we do the 3 Scarlet Sanguines. This card is just absolutely great. When I have Eldlich on the board with this deck profile, it just absolutely destroys people. So if they get rid of like Zombie World or something on the end phase, and this is set and Doom King is in the graveyard, on standby I can activate this to summon a Necro World Banshee. Banshee's effect will banish, and then Doom King will still come back as soon as they thought they had it out. So it's just a reoccurring card. This card can summon anything. If I have Eldritch, I can bring my starters out. It just is a good extender. We do the Cursed Eldlands at 3 as well, just because it's a consistency card. I always want to see Eldritch. Eldritch is the main thing that gets the stuff going. Or if you already have the Eldritch, but you have the good cards in your hand and you don't want to discard, you can use that to either bait an Ash Blossom, or you can get the Golden Land cards so you can do your shenanigans with your Eldritch and get that going all crazy. And then we do the one of the Black Awakening. This card I put in before the tournament last night, testing it. It did okay today. I ended up siding it out a lot, but there were times where like I didn't have anything but Eldritch on board, and it would get a few extenders going, get the Zombie out, and get me working. I don't like it because it's not a quick play spell, and it summons my monsters in defense position, and that can slow me down sometimes when I'm trying to just finish the game in a pinch.
Right.
And then the one of the White Destiny. And White Destiny is another thing. It's a quick play spell. I like this one a little bit more because if I have Eldritch and they finally out my Doom King or something while Zombie World's still alive, I'll just chain the White Destiny and then they got to do it all over again. Or when I don't have nothing in hand except Eldritch, I can top deck, use it for a hand summon too. It's really good. I think this one's a little bit better than the Black Awakening in my opinion. Still got a little more testing with this, but for the most part, that's good. And that should do it for the Eldritch cards. I believe that is a 19 card, or 17 cards, I'm sorry. And then the rest of the stuff is just absolutely cards I use to just really help the deck. I do 3 Prosperities. Prosperities is a must in this deck. Zombie Eldritch doesn't really rely much on the extra deck as much as people would think it does. It's more as the floodgates and the disruptions they have on their opponent's turn. So this is just really good for consistency. Then I main the 3 Dark Ruler No Mores. I was going back and forth with the droplets. I don't like Droplet as much as Dark Ruler No More. There has been games where I lost because I couldn't do any damage to Dark Ruler No More. But most games I go second, open up this, I usually win the game. I can open up a Dark Ruler when they like Virtual World or any kind of shenanigans that other decks put out with Dragoon, Phantom Knights, all that extra negates they have. If Dark Ruler just does it all, shuts them down. And then you open with Dark Ruler, Zombie World, and Super Poly, you're pretty much gonna win the game. You break their board so easily. And so I gave the sneak peek a little we run 3 of Super Poly in the main.
Super broken card.
This card is absolutely bonkers. Everybody just hates this card when they see it. They try to always respond and they forget and they just absolutely hate it. This card really makes people just have a bad day. I run the 2 of Ice Dragon Prisons. I was running it at 3. The card is absolutely great when I'm playing against somebody and I have Zombie World live. I went down to 2 just because there's a lot of the times where I couldn't open up and see the Zombie World. And if they're not running a heavy type deck archetype, it really doesn't have a lot of targets. So I went down to 2 just because I was seeing it too much. Then I did the 2 Rivalry. This card absolutely wins me games. If I have Zombie World and Rivalry active,
Oh, it is just shenanigans,
it pretty much just shuts the board down. My opponent can't do nothing. And then I just keep going with zombies. Zombies just keep summoning. Everything in the deck is zombies. So Eldritch cards come out so strong alone can OTK a game or grind them out because they can't summon. And then for the last, I do run the Dragoon package today. I've been really debating on taking this out. I hate the bricks, but I didn't want to take the chance for the tournament because I'm so used to playing with Dragoon in. I would hate to keep thinking in my mind I was going to make plays to make Dragoon to finish, and then I wouldn't have him. So I stuck with him today. In the future, I'll be testing without it. But Dragoon is just absolutely broken. This card is the meta right now. If he doesn't get banned, then I don't know if he would. And that would be for the main. That would be a 42 card main for today.
Okay. And let's check out your extra deck real quick.
All right. We'll go into the extra deck. So the extra deck will do We do a Link Spider. Link Spider is just to get rid of all my my Eldritch Golden Lands when they're on the field and I need them off. It's just a quick normal summon Link. Super simple, and then I can make a Dragoon or something like that off the effect monsters or other shenanigans when Zombie World's live. I do the Link Kribo. Link Kribo is only in there if I open bad and I have a Glow Up Bloom. I can normal summon the Glow Up Bloom and link him off to get Glow Up Bloom's effects going.
Right.
So and Glow Up Bloom's just a really good card. If people sleep on it and they forget about it on the board, that card can out Dragoon if he's already used his negate. So don't sleep on that one. Then we do the one of Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker is absolutely good. I usually go on end phase with the Vampire Sucker by attributing off the Doom King to when Zombie World's live, and then I would summon the zombie monster from their graveyard, and it becomes a zombie, so it lets me draw a card, and then on the follow-up turn with the Doom King coming back on standby, it's a +2 on the end phase, so it gives me a good follow-up for the next turn. And this card is actually really good. I found out recently that this card is actually super good to problem monsters. If I don't normal summon and I have Zombie World, I can tribute my opponent's monsters to tribute summon for a zombie monster. So
Oh, that's sick.
I can just if they have Dragoon or something on the board and Herald, I can just make this and tribute them off to hard make an Eldritch or something, and it's a continuous
continuous effect, non-activating.
so it's not activated, so they can't negate that one. I think that card's absolutely good. This card today has been the GOAT. I've recently learned how well this card works in the deck, but it is a Link 2 zombie, and this effect, when I attack a monster, I can send one, it's a quick effect during the battle phase, I can send one zombie monster from my deck to the graveyard, and the opponent's monster will lose attack equal to the monster's level times 200. So if I'm going up against like a big boss monster, I would usually send like a Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord, and they would just take 2,000. Or if Zombie World's active, I can just attack and discard the Glow Up Bloom to make a Doom King, and Doom King just pinch him for a little bit more damage during the damage
Just
step.
whittle them away.
Yeah. Then we run the Black Luster Soldier Link. This card beat Virtual World hands down all day today. It just kept attacking the Shin and popping their back row that they set, and then the zombie rivalry lock, it just kind of really hurt them today. I boosted it after the 45 attack. I swung for twice, and it was just over for the Virtual World. They didn't have a good chance. Then I run the Predaplant. Predaplant is very versatile in this deck. It's not just for the Dragoon. So I can bait a Zeus or something like that with the Predaplant, because Predaplant can also make a Super Poly, which people never think of. When I make a Super Poly with Predaplant, they just absolutely they didn't never see it coming. Then we do the Super Dreadnought Gustav Max. That's just, I can hard make that with the 2 Eldritches, burn for 2k. And then I do the Super Dreadnought Real Cannon Juggernaut Lee. That's just after I burn them for 2k. If I have their field wide open, I would just make that detach for the 6 and swing for game. So that's more of like OTK combos. And then the rest, and then the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, of course. And then the rest of my deck is mostly Super Poly targets. So I do the 2 Nether Soul Dragons. That's when Zombie World, I can just pop any 2 cards on the field, and that card is just great. We do the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This card actually came up a lot today with the cards like when I don't have Zombie World, they would have Eldritch or Dragoon and Predaplant. So since they're both dark monsters with the same attribute but they're different types, I would just Super Poly off their Dragoon as soon as they made it, and they just couldn't stop. It really broke their board. Then I do the Prank Kid Weather Washer. This was just extra. If I didn't find the matchup, I would just use it off for the prosperity targets. But Prank Kid's Weather Washer is really good against Prank Kids. It can summon it requires 2 Prank Kid monsters. So Super Poly, their Battle Butler, and their Doodle Doo Doo or whatever. It's really good against them. It shuts them down. We do the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This card is really good against the Super Poly, against a lot of certain decks who run mainly dark archetypes like Dragon Links and stuff. I use it a lot. I did make a misplay today when it almost cost me a game, but they outed my Venom Fusion Dragon, and I forgot the end effect for when it gets destroyed by card effect. It destroys all special summon monsters your opponent controls as well. So that card's absolutely good. I just gotta remember to play that effect. And then last but not least, Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord. This card won me at least 3 games today. I had 2 Eldlich matchups, and Doom King plus Eldlich, the Mad Golden Lord, was just destroying them. Because every time they would make their Eldlich and use their Golden Land cards to do a pop, I would chain the Super Poly. And since they have an Eldlich monster on board and a level 5 zombie monster, I just kept snacking their Eldlich to do that. And then whenever they tried to do their shenanigans with Eldlich, Doom King would just handle the rest.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely, man.
that's it for the extra deck. And onto the side. The side is really, really basic. We do the 3 kaijus because we have a lot of problems against Dragoon.
Yeah, it answers a lot of problems too.
It's really good against a lot of cards that I'm not really aware of or know how well the effects are. So I use those to be on the safe. I do the 3 Nibiru's. It really just hurts a lot of decks. I didn't have to do with it today, but it has stopped me in helped me in so many combo decks, Heroes, Virtual World, Phantom Knights. This card really hurts it. So I do the 2 anti-spell and the 1 Imperial Order, only because I have a bad matchup. I don't really know the Sky Striker too well, but I did play them today, and the Imperial Order really came in clutch for the win. So that was absolutely clutch. Then I do the 3 Twin Twisters for the back row hate. A lot of decks use a lot of shenanigans in the back row, so I like to do that. And I usually plus off the discard on the Twin Twister, so it's a really good card either way for my deck. And then for going first, I side in the Solemn Judgments, and I'll take out the Dark Rulers. And that's about it for the side deck.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Congratulations on your top. And do you have any shout outs or anything like that you want to shout out over here?
Yeah, I'll shout out to the CM Game community for hosting this event. All the people in this local town and the community that comes up here, they're all really awesome people. Everyone I've been playing with recently, Fox, Sinjin, David, all them people, they're really good people. Shout out to my girlfriend. She has been putting up with a lot of me playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, having a lot of events at my house.
Lots of us being loud.
So shout out to her for sure. She's a real MVP for supporting me.
100%.
Listening to me talk about it all day.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations, dude.
Thanks,
Love you guys.